So it finished 3-0 to Brighton today. Your thoughts on the game?
It was a pretty disappointing game. I think like mentality definitely lacking. We did pretty okay like first half. I think second half super lethargic, just slowing the ball, reaction time, everything was just really off.
Yeah, there are a couple good chances throughout the whole game as well. It's like they didn't play badly, but Brighton just played better. It's kind of
what would you put it down to today then? So we know going into the game we heard City's result. You know, it's a bit demoralising. We feel that it's just a team that's not going to lose. They keep getting the wins.
Right. It's like kind of last season where everything just capitulated at the same time. It's just so similar. I think we need to do better in handling like pressure in this like late stage.
For sure.
It's really there's no reason we should lose to Brighton at home 3-0 like at this stage in the season. It's pretty terrible.
And I think there's an aspect of the fact that like we go into games expecting teams to lay down. Right, you go in away, Newcastle, you win. You come home, it's Brighton. You're thinking, okay,
it's done.
Put pressure on them. At some point, they'd fall. But it's the Premier League. You got to just keep fighting, and it happens.
Turn off.
Yeah, I'm not looking for excuses, but that could be some of it complacency. But do you think another one could be tiredness? It's a long season.
For sure.
We're right at the end of the season now. A lot of our players have had to play a lot of games because we have a small squad, and some of them have to play in the World Cup as well.
Yep.
So a lot of tiredness now.
Our strongest 11 is pretty much the team that plays every week in, week out. We don't have a good enough depth in the team, and we definitely need to strengthen. Don't get me wrong, our first 11 is strong. You know, we have Saka, Martinelli, all the same guys are playing every single game, and that's why it kind of makes you almost even happy when we go out of some tournaments. So because we know our main team is going to get to rest to play in the Premier League. Right. Even though that's not how you should think. You should to be a top team competing for all the trophies, you need serious depth, and we definitely need to strengthen. Get quality players that can show up and replace main key players that get injured or retired. Like losing Saliba, kind of.
That's tough.
Yeah,
I think that was the start of a lot of our troubles, and I think there's a mental aspect as well. I think it's not just like physical tiredness. I think it's like mental tiredness. You go into a game, you're really hoping to get something going early, and the game keeps going on. You're hoping they fall, and you're sleepwalking. They take advantage of you, and I think like using our bench a lot more would be great as well. Like a lot of players come up from the bench, and they're clearly rusty. You could tell like they come in and Smith Rowe, and it's just super lethargic, slowing the ball. Reaction time is off. So using our bench, a lot more, and just building on mental strength, I think it'd be great.
You know what? Overall, I would still say it was a good season. I think we have poor moments, but if you could look back to last season, saying Arsenal will come second in the Premier League and get to the later stages of Europa, it wasn't clear. So I know we'll look back on the season and be like, we did well, but for now it just hurts.
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough pill to swallow, but still. We can build on this. I really feel we can strengthen the squad in the summertime and just build on it. And I think everyone needs to grow. The players, the coach, we got to do a better job like finding like bench players and subs and just continue to grow. But all in all, good season, disappointing, but I think we can build on this and continue.
For sure, good foundation. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on. For sure. One to ask you as well is though, we've got to credit the opposition. Got to give credit to Man City. We've won 11 Premier League games in a row. We're talking about mentally draining. That's mentally draining. The team that just keeps winning and winning. And they've done it before. We've seen them do it against Liverpool in recent seasons. So we've got to give a lot of credit to them because, when we have a bad result, you look to their result, hope they might slip up.
Right.
The law of average told you that somewhere along the line they should drop some points, but they've not done that.
Yeah, and there's no luck involved. They're cleaning up teams, and that's a championship team. They have the right mentality. They've been doing it for years, and you don't want to win the league easily. People were talking about City dropping points for FFP. Who knows what's going on? But you want competition. You want it to feel like a good win when you do win. That's why having a team in the league like City, on your backs, should make you work harder and actually become that. Look up to them and kind of become that championship level team. because you have the blueprint. They're doing it, and they have a fantastic coach. Arteta also came from there, learned from him. So hopefully, like, we can get there one day. But City, fantastic team. Like, hats off to them. They deserve to win the league.
Yeah, and I think they're a lot mature, like in terms of like their process. They have a more experienced coach. They have players that are like older. There's a foundation. So I got to give them a lot of credit. They handle pressure incredibly well. They go into different like stages in the season, and it's just super clinical. Everyone's focused, and they just know how to execute and handle that pressure well. So I got to give them a lot of credit. I feel like that's part of our growth steps. Kind of handling pressure a lot more, being more mature, as especially end of the season. So credit to them. They're super clinical. They have that experience, and I think that's part of what we need to work on. But credit to them. We've got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, for us, though, the future is bright. We're going to learn a lot from this season. We've got Champions League football again.
Yeah, for sure. Super excited about that.
Champions League nights.
Champions League nights. Super excited about that. Like it's amazing. Like amazing season. There's excitement. Like coming in a few years. So again, just super pumped for what's to come.
Yeah, recycling. Like that's an achievement. Definitely. I'm so excited for next season, especially for the Champions League. It's been a minute, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm super excited for those games and just to kind of see that atmosphere, compete in Europe, and just really continue to grow. Like again, it's England, right? It's a tough league. You just got to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing.
Just one last thing, a positive thing to finish with as well. This is the only place in London next season that there will be Champions League football.
Yes.
Well, good thing to come out this weekend.
Let's go. Let's go. Super hyped for that. Super hyped for that. Like it's been a few years, and I think we're working our way through like competing like with the big boys, like just not in England, but also in Europe. So super excited to just kind of see where that goes, and we believe.
We have a couple good signings. And
yes,
I say they'll make Emirates a fortress.
For sure.
Next season, you hear there first.
For sure. Come on, you Gunners!